So I wanted to record a little bit about my day. This is my day. I'm not lazy, but I have a lot of medical things going on that result in a lot of fatigue and pain and inability to do things. So I have rough nights. I have a lot of pain. I have a lot of difficulty sleeping. I try to sleep in if I could keep sleeping and end up getting a full night's sleep. Sleep is important to healing and to getting better, but it's so challenged, and it's not every month of the year that I'm in a sleep deprived state, but I go through these phases where my symptoms are so bad that I'm generally in a somewhat sleep deprived state from that. So I sleep when I can. If that's late into the morning or midday, then I'll grab that when I can take it. Sometimes I'm up at 7 a.m., sometimes I'm up at 1 p.m. That's sleep, it's just grateful to have sleep. I get up, I get some version of ready. When my symptoms are bad and I'm easily fatigued, I don't take a shower right away, because if I do, then I won't have any other energy to do the other more important things like eating, taking my medications. Those have to come first before I put too much into my day, or I won't get to those. And that has happened many times where I've tried to do too much before medicine and food, and then it's evening before I get there because I crash out. So as quick as possible, I get to have initial. Lately, I can't eat without a ton of pain and without it completely wrecking my day and putting me down. We don't know exactly what's going on with that. The digestive motility issues, paralysis, nerve damage, certainly are definitely in the mix. That's SIBO is also a bacterial overgrowth that has developed due to the motility issues. Is very likely and something we're looking at treating right now. So anyway, today, for example, I had a coffee with a bit of milk and a few sips of that, and I already had my stomach just, my whole abdominal area lit up with pain and doubling over pain. I in the kitchen just doubled over and sat on the kitchen floor. It's not a dramatic thing, it's just that's where I'm standing when it happens, and to get across the house to a couch or a bed is ridiculous because I'm going to be in the same amount of pain no matter where I'm at. So I'll stay there for a while and wait, and hopefully I recover and kind of get back to a good place, and then I can go on to doing the next step and the next thing while I'm in the kitchen. So then I take my medication. Today I did fortunately get half my medication, the most critical medications in I generally do the most critical ones before I put anything else in my mouth. Or just put like a little bit in there since some of them need to be taken with food. And then normally I get to, wait a little bit, progress to some kind of very light amount of calories. So normally something like almond milk or more creamer in my coffee. I know coffee doesn't work for everyone, but I use extremely clean, organic coffee with no chemicals and low acidity. And it actually is important for me because I have very low blood pressure that I need to raise, and my cardiologist says that the side effects of coffee are going to be less than the side effects of another pharmaceutical drug. The main one they use actually has caused me to have seizures, so the coffee keeps my blood pressure up because my blood pressure is like really low, bad low. Also, the coffee helps with motility and digestion. So coffee is one of the few things that I can have that's actually fairly good for me, and the trade-offs are net good. So I look forward to coffee quite a bit. coffee on its own without any milk, and it generally doesn't cause me any problems. So I do add creamer or almond milk, of course, like organic, and no corn syrups, and no trans fats, and no stabilizers, or any, none of the chemical and processed stuff, basically. I just got an espresso machine I'm really excited about. So I can just so that actually allows me to just take regular almond milk and put it through the milk frother. And it's thick like creamer, and it's a great cup of coffee. So that's highlight of my day lately. But, when I can even make that, or Jordan makes it for me a lot. So, if I'm in a really good phase where digestion's going really well, I might have like a shake, most people say protein shakes, but really this is a full nutrient profile shake. It's not about the protein, it's about meal replacement. And so I have a really good quality protein powder and nutrient powder, a couple of those that I use mixed with milk, and then, or sometimes fruit, depending on if I can digest fruit at that time. Right now I can't. Right now I struggle with the shakes. So lately, it's different. I can't cover a whole year at once here, but I'm trying to provide a somewhat representative idea. We'll see. Then I see how I feel, how I am after having those important medications, after having the little bit, and having, coffee is basically a medication for me for those reasons I discussed, and then having just a little bit of calories, because I'm also hypoglycemic, so I have to have calories. I can't completely 100% fast, but I find the small amounts of milk, sometimes small amounts of milk with, I use honey, agave, maple syrup, the small amount of sugar, small amount, because that can really backfire. But that, especially if I'm low and already having a hypoglycemic crash, which will happen more if I've slept late, it helps a lot to throw in some quick sugar along with the protein, and so we're digesting sugars from the milk. And then also protein is really good to throw in. So an egg, if I can eat that much. So that's where the protein shake or the egg comes in. Eggs, hopefully eggs. And when I'm doing really good, eggs and toast, eggs and avocado, something like that. When I can digest food, then I do get to eat the first part of the day. Right now, lately, I just gotta make it through till I do a couple of things, because okay, so if I eat and then normal, like right now, I can't eat anything without massive, massive pain. If I try to eat a real meal, I'm out till the next day. I mean, we're talking 12 hours of dramatic, really bad pain. I'm looking for painkillers, that type of pain. I'm sometimes breaking down crying because it's so overwhelming and exhausting. I don't know what to do about it, and I can't make it stop. I have all kinds of medications and supplements and all this stuff that I take. And trying different ones, see which one it is that day that might be the problem, which might help. Some of it helps, some of it doesn't. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. So if I have to do anything that day, it has to happen before I eat anything. Problem is, I'm normally fairly fatigued without more calories and nutrients. I'm running pretty lean on calories lately. So my activity ends up being very low. It's a weird, I'm stuck at this. It's really tough. So then I move into doing whatever it is I need to do. So maybe it's medical bills, maybe it's taxes, maybe it's some light house cleaning, maybe it's an errand I need to run, maybe it's a doctor's appointment that's scheduled, maybe it's calling my grandma, maybe it's, whatever it is, that's when I get that done. And I hope that I have the brain, the cognitive place to do that. Once I eat, the pain also takes away my cognitive ability pretty dramatically. The problem is I have other things going on, not just eating, that cause problems. It cause things like brain fog and cognitive issues and super fatigue. So it's a toss-up. I can't always do any of those things during that window. Sometimes I can do any of those things, and other times I can do none of them. Particularly things involving complex thought, bills and reading and taxes and stuff like that. It's funny because I actually really love taxes. And in my form before I was sick, I would really delight in doing them. That's just the type of, I'm not just the way my brain works. I probably would have been a great CPA, although I did, other stuff in that kind of finances area. And taxes, it's like a game that I love to play, and I can't play it. My brain will not get from one thought to another, from one page to another. Anyways, we can go into that later. A lot of times I'm like a zombie. I'm just out. Lately, after I eat, I'm definitely like a zombie, and I'm just out. It's just a matter of trying to stay positive, trying to hope for this to end. It goes on for months and months and months. It's been going on for years. I've had these windows where I improve some, and I get really excited and hopeful, and then then I get worse. Overall, over the last 4 years, on average, I'm worse. My life is more limited all the time on average, and I'm tired of it. But anyway, that's not for today. So then I eat. Eventually, I go through the pain, and all my food, no chemicals, it's all very clean, and it's a very restricted diet. There's so many foods I can't eat. Like I can't have very much fiber because of the motility issues. And there's just a long list of that. So this is very, very restricted diet, oftentimes liquid. Right now, mostly liquid. Even soup has just caused me all kinds of problems, just the little bits of chunks of stuff in soup. But a lot of times I do end up eating it because I'm so nutrient. I can't be nutrient deficient. I have to have nutrients. My body has to be able to function and heal at the same time. So, what do you do? Sometimes I just have to suffer through the pain, and that's what I do. So that I eat, evening's gone. I always hope it won't be. Every once in a while I get lucky and it's not. And food moves and there's less pain, and I don't know why sometimes that happens. And then I get other stuff done. And normally I'm sharper cognitively if I don't, like eating aside with the other things, I'm normally sharper in the evenings. I have more energy in the evenings. But unfortunately with business hours, the daytime stuff has to happen during the day. But if I can, I'll do stuff in the evening. And then, I wait for it to stop. I wait for the pain to stop. I tell myself all kinds of things, mental exercises I go through to stay positive, to get through the pain. I sometimes do take painkillers. I sometimes do take, various things that help manage the pain. Then also there's heat, and sometimes heat makes it worse depending on the type of pain. Sometimes cold helps. Sometimes cold makes it worse depending on the type of the pain, the source of the pain. I have what feels like a full body migraine sometimes, that where I just have unexplained pain throughout my whole body, and it's not associated with eating, and I don't know where that's coming from. I also have pain from my from CIDP, from nerve damage. I have nerve pain throughout my body, and that I've learned to block pretty well, but some days I can't block it. Like that's constant. That's always there as well. But you can't be on painkillers all the time. You can't function. So I try my best to stay off them and manage the pain through, mental exercises, not doing things that trigger the pain, not riding in cars. Car rides always cause a big problem afterwards. But you have to sometimes. So I do when I have to, doctors and necessary things, and occasionally just for sanity to get out. But that's why things like that I minimize. If I'm feeling really good, I'll be able to do some extra exercising. I try to work PT in every day, some point in the day. And then I try to work in, I walk around the house as much as I can tolerate. Because even if, I'm leaning on things or whatever it is, movement helps. So that's my day. And then I try to sleep. And normally I'm in bed about 12 hours in order to get anywhere from 4 to 8 hours of sleep, due to the amount of pain and other issues that make sleep very difficult. So I hope that's a useful summary of that's just, it's not great. It sucks. I want it to be over. I'm searching all the time for a